Yes, many thanks for staying with us. It's still Frontline coming to you from New Frontiers Television. Now we move on to the interview segment, and this particular segment has been set aside to appreciate some individuals who have been making a great sacrifice, selfless services to humanity. And when we are talking about this individual, we are talking about the teachers, because whatever profession you have picked up in life, you got to that position because some people have contributed immensely to make sure that you get there, and these people need to be celebrated for these selfless services they are rendering to the society. And so we're on the show today, we will be talking about teachers as future molders. What are the challenges they face? How do they navigate all of that? And joining us to have this discussion this morning is Deaconess Oyedoyin Alabi. She is a retired principal, retired but not tired. It's good to have you on the program, ma.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Teachers are great.
Yeah, they are.
No controversy.
Exactly, they
and,
are.
When you can write and read, you thank your teachers. But
exactly.
If you cannot, you blame yourself.
So let me say thank you to teachers. So to all our teachers out there, I want to say thank you for your immense contribution to development and to the growth of individual. We are what we are today because we've passed through your tutors, to your tutors. So hence why we are here today. Let me first start by asking you that, how did it start? You know, sometimes we talk about passion. You have passion for something that you're doing, but for you, how did it start? Is it something you wanted to do, or you just develop interest in it? So how did it start, ma?
For me, it wasn't an interest initially. I didn't even know that I could teach. All my life, my eyes has always been on mass communication.
Oh.
My teachers probably recognize that or identify that in me, that probably I'll be able to work in the media houses or wherever. But by training, at a point in time, I had a friend whose mother was a teacher, and when I was still staying at home, it was like, you can go to teachers college. So I went to teachers training college then, and from there I started to develop interest, because you will go for teaching practice, and after that you will be deployed into school. And before then, I acted as an auxiliary teacher.
Okay.
And I discovered that I actually performed well.
Wow.
But I was there to relieve someone who had gone on maternity leave. And when I discovered that the woman would be resuming the following week, I decided to leave. I didn't even inform anybody. I just felt that the woman I'm relieving is coming to school, and I left. So, but I had that experience even as an auxiliary teacher.
Wow.
Before I went to teachers college. When I went for that training, then I discovered that I could do it. From there, I moved on, and I had my degree in education.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
So it is what it is today.
We thank God.
We thank God.
And I found myself there, and it becomes a passion.
A passion.
It becomes something that I cannot do away with.
Okay, so that will take me to the next question, which is, you know, when we are talking about teachers as future molders, I believe that for anybody that wants to mold a future, there are some qualities they must possess. Just like you don't give what you don't have. So what are those qualities you think every teacher must possess?
Every teacher must have compassion, empathy. You must be there for everyone. You must have the mind to form someone, to reform, and to transform. That quality must be in you. You must be someone that is committed and dedicated if you are going to be a teacher. There must be that passion there. And you must know that even as a teacher, you are a counselor, you are a guidance, you are a doctor, you are a parent, you are everything to every child that comes your way. So you must be ready to be accommodating. You must be ready to open your arms to every child that comes your way. If you do not have such qualities, then you will not be able to model life. There must be something in you that people will be able to emulate and that people will be able to see and say, wonderful, I can imitate this and be a better person in future. You must carry it.
Okay, let's quickly take a break now and we'll come back. The conversation will continue. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. We still continue with the conversation on teachers as future molders. I still have with me Dickness doing Alabi in the studio as we continue this conversation. We just talk about the attributes or qualities every teacher must possess in molding the future. Now, in your lines of experience as a teacher, what would you describe as some of the major challenges that is confronting our educational system?
There are a lot. One, when we talk about the teachers, the working condition of some schools is not good at all. And the infrastructures are not there. Some teaching materials are not there. And most often than not, some parents are not cooperative. And at times, some government policies may not even work in line with what you want to do at times, even to bring about what you actually want to do. What do I mean? There are some schools that have some students do not have furnitures, and some do not have classrooms.
The public schools.
In some public schools. And even some private schools do not have number of classrooms that they were supposed to have. And you have more children in a classroom. A classroom a set of students that's supposed to be handled by probably 2 teachers or 3 or 4.
Now we have just one.
They would just have just one. That would not be good enough. And in the public school, you may not have enough furniture for the students. And when the students are not properly seated, they may lose attention. And when they lose attention, they will not listen. When they don't listen, they will not learn. It is something that you pay attention to every day that you learn from.
Exactly.
So that is a kind of. Another thing is the low income, the salary. The salary of every teacher is not something to write home about. We might say it's getting better now because of the number of thousands that you can count. I started with 385 naira. But I was to believe that what 385 naira could buy then my 100,000 naira may not buy it now.
Exactly.
So, and it has been like that. The teachers are always, financially, when you talk about money, salary, they are always at the background. And when you consider the work that teachers do in the school, you will know that the money is not commensurate with the kind of work that they do. because teachers' work is beyond teaching, is beyond the classroom. A lot of things we give to the children. Every child comes to school empty, ignorant, naive, blank.
Empty.
And it is the teachers that feel poor things, engage them, and put good and moral into their lives. We teach them specific subjects to prepare them for their future careers. We teach them morals, their character, because we know that when you acquire some intelligence in some fields,
Exactly.
and character is faulty, you will lose it. So all these things we give to them, but still what do we see? Low income. We also have our children that want to cater for, but you cannot. You want to meet up with your counterparts in other professions, but the salary is very low. And that is why you see teachers taking up so many other businesses
jobs. Exactly.
so that they can meet up, and they burn out. And you see so many teachers
So it can be exhausting.
and dying.
Yeah.
It's
So from what you've just said, so it looks like there are diverse needs coming from the students. So how do you address them? Talking about the morals, some are more intelligent than the others. So how do you deal with all of that? Because it could be exhausting sometimes.
very well. When we are talking about teachers now, there are categories in stages. We have the primary school teachers, we have the secondary school teachers, we have the special education educators, even we have the professors in the universities, in the colleges of education, even we have the online teachers, they are all teachers. And in these stages, different challenges come with every child. For that of the primary, they are even coming very raw, very, very raw. And still, it is in the primary school that they will use their hand. You have to create a supportive environment. You use their hand even to write. So that you train their wrist to be flexible in writing. You start from the cradle, you start from nothing and bring them to become somebody. You teach them language, you teach them communication, you teach them ways and manners of doing certain things. You even force them to sit down. Children are very restless, but it's only teachers that make your children to sit, to be focused, to pay attention.
We give that to them.
So, and when they leave that, there is little knowledge they acquire there, but when they move up, there are still certain things that they need to gain. We teach them different subjects that will make them to become doctors, that will make them to become lawyers, that will make them to become you.
Yeah.
So all these things we have to teach them. It's the teachers that do it. And many a times our work in the classroom, you have to be sensitive. And that is why every teacher is a pastor, is a counselor, even a policeman, a detective. So many things parents don't discover in their children. It is from the school. We now call them. Do you know that this and this are happening to your children? It's as if we have 4 eyes. So we discover a lot from them. And we tend to reform them. And for morals, we start our teaching even right from the assembly ground.
Yeah.
Lots of different ways, methods to teach them. We tell them stories. We give them illustrations. We tell them about our lives. We give them things that go on in their environment. We persuade them. We cajole them. We appeal to them. We show love and care to them so that they can enjoy their school. We create a friendly environment. If you permit me, there are some songs I used to sing for them at the assembly, but it's in Yoruba.
We don't mind.
Okay. There are two which I love to sing to them at the assembly. Obaroju kawe, iwe mu nini lare, imolele ko, ojú rẹ̀ àlà, wá bá àwọn èèyàn ńlá ńlá, jókòó sípò ńlá ńlá. When they hear that, that education is light, they want to learn.
It makes you to sit with the kings.
And it makes you to sing with kings. And that is what the Bible says too, if you are diligent in your work. So we make them. There is another one that I used to sing to them. Mi kò ní tó bí mi lójú, n ò ní tí ó bí mi lójú, mà kàwé, mà tún gboyè rẹpẹtẹ. Bí Kọ́lá bá ní wá ṣe n ò ferege, bí Tolú bá ní wá ṣe n ò yarí fún. Ìràwọ̀ mi tó ń tọ́ yìí kò má ṣe wọ́kùn, n ò ní tí ó bí mi lójú. So we teach them that there are certain things you do that will put shame to your parents. It's only when you graduate from here
that you can make them
that
proud.
you can make them proud. So by the time one boy is now wagging his legs like whatever, don't yield. Do what? Flee. When you flee, when you resist the devil, he will flee away from you. So we try to tell them that. There is another Bible passage I used to tell them. When you walk with the wise, you will be wise.
Exactly.
But in the companion of fools, you will be destroyed. So they choose their friends with that. That, okay, they associate, you should work with people that will add value to you. So a lot of things we do to make them to form.
Wow. I'm very, very interested in this innovative teaching method that you brought on when you were teaching, and it also brings me back to this issue of incorporating our local language in teaching the student. That was a suggestion. Then somebody made that. Okay, we complained about poor performances of students, particularly in UTME, WASC, and other external exams like that. Okay, how about we try to teach them in our local language? Do you also subscribe to that?
This local language that you are talking about, do your children speak Yoruba? Are you Yoruba?
Yes, I mean.
Do they speak Yoruba?
They do sometimes.
You see? So if you are not saying that, the language that they did not learn from home, that's supposed to be the first language they will learn from home. If they have that from home, then we can build on it, even in the school. So some of us, because I teach Yoruba,
Okay.
some of us who taught Yoruba back then had it more difficult to impart that Yoruba language into them than those who teach English and other subjects. Even the student will prefer to go for those other subjects, and we will now have to use so many other methods to teach them for them to be interested. They are not even interested in their own language. So every parent have taught them that it is only English language that can make them to be somebody in life. And as a result, everybody is tending to encourage them into speaking your English language. And if they do know that, why not? Let's teach them in the language that they are interested in and which they understand better.
One of the things you've mentioned is parents not cooperating when I was asking you about the challenges in the educational system. So how do you incorporate, or what do you think can make parents to be cooperating, or how do you incorporate parenting and the community into shaping these young minds?
Okay. When I was coming this morning, just this morning, some minutes to 9, I met one of my students, the student from the school where I retired.
Okay.
And I just saw her. Why are you still here at this time? He said, it's my mom. We have been arguing. She said I should not go to school. I will go to school. I will not go to school. I will go to school. And like that, time flies. And I saw her. I said, what caused the argument? All this struggling. He said she wanted to go somewhere. And she wants her to stay in the shop. Not coming to school. That is where it is. The teacher will want the girl to come to school to learn so that he could pass exams, so that he could learn some things, some skills, he could acquire some knowledge, and some parents will feel that the time he's supposed to be in school, they can turn her to a cis girl. That is one. Two, in school, we taught them etiquette. We taught them how to communicate with good language, with good expression, not cursing themselves, not being aggressive. We want them to be calm. We want them to be free with one another, loving one another. But parents teach them hatred. It is in their environment that they will be abusing themselves, cursing themselves, learning a kind of rough languages and dialects. And most often than not, we do invite some parents. And when you invite them, some succumb to, we do not know. Thank you. But some parents will still not feel that what they are doing is wrong. But as teachers, we try to educate these children that your parents might be like this, but that does not mean it is the right way. Do you know the position whereby your parents are now? That is what restricted them to that position, because we will tell them that they are just there. And we now tell the children, this is the way out, so that you can be better than your parents.
So as we discuss the teachers as future molders, I would like to ask you that what changes would you like to see in the educational system, particularly under this new administration? Well, it's still a new administration because it's just barely 2 years in office. So what are the changes would you like to see?
I want supervision to be thorough. You know, I'm always opposing the fact that people say good teachers. There is no good teachers. You are either teachers or cheaters. When you are teachers, you handle your work as if it is a calling, that it is a work given to you by God, and you are giving accounts back to God. Either people are there or not. Either your salaries are paid or not. You feel that this is my job and I must do it, and I must do it efficiently and effectively. So supervision must be thorough, and whoever is given the job of this supervisory role, they should please do it conscientiously as unto God. A lot of things are happening in schools, and if supervision is not thorough, we will not have the right evaluation and the right feedback, and some people will not do the work as it's supposed to be done.
All right, thank you so much, Deaconess Oyedoyin-Alabi, for this insightful time on the program as we discuss teachers as future molders. Yes, they are future molders. We cannot contend that. So it's a time for us to celebrate this individual who have been doing excellently well in molding future and in bringing us to where we are today. So to all teachers, we want to say kudos to you. Thank you for a good job you are doing for everyone, for all the generations. And once again, I want to say thank you to Deaconess Oyedoyin. You're tired, but not tired. Thank you so much, Ma, for being part of the show this morning. We'll take a break now, and Frontline continues later. Do stay with us.